Hey, what's up there, everybody? I hope you're having a good one, and we are going to be checking out the Heihachi reveal for Tekken 8, and it was revealed at EVO. So let's play through, see what's going on, and then we are going to go through it again and take it apart and see a couple of different things going on that we can elaborate on.
Sobre os monges Tekken, eliminando os restos da Mishima Zaibatsu.
技と体はかつてなく磨かれておる。心が不安定な状態ゆえ、心技体の均衡が取れておらんのだ。
そろそろ頃合いだな。
わしこそが三島平八じゃ。
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Alright. Hey. Claudio. I'm gonna learn Katsuya and then switch back. Don't tell me that. Oh my goodness. Gee, silly. Yeah, you could do that. You could learn Reina also, and Reina, or in a sense, Akuma, and still, yeah, if that's something you'd be interested in, absolutely, yeah. That's funny. You had me there. I was reading it, I was like, yeah, like, wait a minute here. That's funny. Okay. Alright, so this is loaded with stuff. And let's really go through this. And some of the stuff that I'm seeing in here is stuff that I don't know how to pick apart. So, we'll try. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to see here is this is a depiction of Fujin and Rajin, and they are the gods of thunder and lightning and wind, right? Now, the key is, I believe specifically this is Rajin. Now, this is also, when I'm going through all this, I'm trying to do it in a way that, well, the only way that I understand it, because I'm still trying to figure this and learn about it and figure it out. But in addition to that, I'm trying to do it in a respectful way. A lot of these depictions are true and ancient. The thing is that they're based on myths, but it still holds a lot of importance. In addition to, there's things mixed in that are true. And a lot of them all link together to other cultures and ethnicities and their beliefs and their religions and the all-encompassing God itself of everything. So it's not just that these things are coming through. It's that there's actually, you could look at it and say, okay, these things are just coming through. But there's actually emphasis behind all the stuff that's going on in here and in the other games. So I believe this is Rajin. Now, Fujin, his brother, is tied to wind. And supposedly, that god, all of this information has come through the world and has, like I said, ties to other cultures. Some of the ties are from India. Some of the ties are from Greece. And they're sharing the same ideas on these particular representatives, okay, of what's going on. The representative in Greece mythology is, I hope I'm going to say this correctly, Boreus, Boreus, who is the god of wind, who, had ties to Zeus and everything else, is, a big deal. And we're talking Hellenistic age. We're talking, this is old stuff. So this isn't necessarily stuff that just, flit away. It's really grounded in different things. So that's how this is starting. And then we're seeing here, we have some samurais, and they're fighting a demon. They're fighting a devil. And this, I'm really sure, was from Tekken 7. I'm really sure. Now, the interesting thing about Tekken 7 is that Kazumi, which is Kazuya's mom, was in Tekken 7. And she got a hold of Akuma from the Street Fighter series. And she had him come over to the world of Tekken. So if things started to get too out of control and she couldn't handle it, she needed him to wipe out Heihachi and wipe out Kazuya if they were becoming too much of a menace to the world. Because supposedly, and me personally, I should have known this because I went to Catholic school my whole entire life, and I knew that there was something going on with this, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And it ate at me for quite some time. I'm going to say it ate at me for probably about a year. She was a devil demon, but there's multiple jobs involved. And some of it is that they're supposed to be keeping an eye on things and make sure that things are flowing in a balanced and certain way. And in a sense, she and Akuma are tied in that. She had Kazuya with Heihachi, who is, as far as we understood, a regular person, right? Which means Kazuya's half of this, really, at the end of the day, it's some sort of like a demon. We'll start it with at that point first. A demon, and then half human, because he's half Heihachi, right? But they're saying that they got all of the power and everything through Azazel. And Azazel was in multiple Tekken games. And he was imprisoned in Zafina's hand. And I should have known better because I always knew there was something in that name, but I could never put the dots together, and I was not smart enough to think to look it up. That Azazel in real life is another religious figure that is a representative of, God, I want to say angels, through, I think through the Jewish faith, to be honest. Let me look them up just to make sure. I'm 99% sure. Here we go. Okay, Azazel was considered a fallen angel, so was initially an actual angel. Like, an actual angel in Christian and Islamic religions. And partly remains in Christian and Islamic traditions. He was in the book of Enoch and introduced humans to forbidden knowledge, the things that you shouldn't know. So it says here, transport himself. Let me see. Fallen angel, responsible introducing humans to forbidden knowledge. He's in the Torah. And anyways, so all I'm trying to say is that this is yet oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. To Farm Tech. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cammy. It was Cammy. Gokin. Because of that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into all of that. Jin's shoes. You know what? They weren't actually Jin's shoes. I thought they were. His shoes aren't being released until September time. That was another shoe that looks very close to his shoes, but aren't that one just yet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but they were neat. I mean, they were neat. The purple ones, they did not have Cassia's, but they may. I think they're going to be an online order more. Yeah, yeah. I took the pictures and everything, and then somebody that knows about more about the shoes said they're not released yet. So that was a different version of the shoe. Yeah, supposedly the shoe has a bolt, an electrical bolt on it. Yeah. Oh, they did. Yeah, they fit really well. They're very form fitting. They're very snug because they're made out of like this foam. Yeah. Yeah. My hair keeps my hair keeps being goofy here. Well, let's look into this. So Azazel is yet another figure, and this is a legitimate, actual figure. So we're not talking about. That's the thing with this stuff, and the more that I'm looking into it, I'm starting to see, some of the links and things between all of this, and I just think it's very interesting. There's still a lot of things that I'm trying to figure out and learn and whatever that I cannot find any answers to at all. But we'll see. It's interesting. Let's see here. Okay. So we have, like I said, two samurais, and they're fighting against this demon here. And of course, and we're saying, okay, the demon still tied to God. Just why is the demon attacking them? Well, is it because they went too far? For whatever reason, they have to be stopped, or is it because he's on a rampage and he's just being a jerk? It could be either way. Maybe they're fighting Batman. It could be. Okay, so there's the Mishima symbol, and that I think is it looks a little like the Shinto symbol to me, but that's just me. I don't know what this is. I don't know if I think it's supposed to be a fist with a thumb right there. And this is a temple. Whoops, too fast. So we're seeing a temple. And these are fists, right? And these are holy ropes. And I know that these lanterns are also, they have a lot of significance also with Shinto religion. Dang, I should look this up, because I try to remember these things and then I forget. It's a stone lantern. Offerings to Buddha initially. A light basket. Um, Okay, so it says here it's supposed to be representative of the teachings of Buddha and the light over dark. Here we go. And these little ogamis here, I think that's what those are, or SHIDE, is basically saying that they're in a holy place. And these men, I think, are all monks. Or they could be priests. I had a talk about this with a friend at Evo, and he was explaining to me how at one point there were Buddhist priests and Shinto priests in Japan, and then there was an overturn, and the Buddhist priests were they had to go. Basically, they had to go. So that could be this, but I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not sure. And the other issue in all this too is that this is a game, which, you know, you can argue, okay, this is a game, but then the problem is that some of the things that they're incorporating in the game are things tied into, you know, religions. Some of it tied directly into my religion, and then it makes you go, well, you know, there's different ties to things that are going on with all this. Okay, so everybody is all in tune and in formation. Okay, so here is Rajin and Fujin. And this could be a beautiful background for you know, for Tekken, a fighting game background here. So this is overlooking everything, and then you have your monks or your priests here overlooking everything. And as far as what was explained to me, this is a bit this is a bit realistic. I don't know if these monk priests had any ties to the samurai, but as far as what I was told, they could really hold their own. Oh, he's standing on the hot coals there. So everybody's practicing the wave dash, focusing. Balance, agility. And this almost looks as if it could be an area to hone your skills, you know, if you're learning to be a ninja, or you know, I guess you could say samurai. Of course, I don't know if the samurais did anything like this, but it's possible. Okay, so we're seeing that Lydia is going to have a big part in all of this here. And it says, you know, blatantly, warrior monks, which could, to be honest, have a very strong tie to the priests from, you know, many years ago. It says, existence first confirmed 6 months ago. The Mishima Zaibatsu has been engaged in back and forth war against G Corp, with the Tekken Force at the center. However, the combination of Officer Nina Williams' departure from the Zaibatsu and the disappearance of the leader Heihachi, because he got thrown into the volcano, turned the tide over to G Corp. So Tekken 7 happens. Kazuya wins, knocks Heihachi out. Nina, in the beginning of Tekken 8, you can see her working for Kazuya, and he ends up losing to Jin, basically. With the chain of command thrown into chaos, G Corp used the opportunity to launch a large-scale attack on the Zaibatsu. One failed swoop. G Corp intimate victory was secured by crushing defeat on Zaibatsu on the North American front. Mishima Zaibatsu long feared collapse at the hands of G Corp brought the war to, I don't know what that word is right there.
Sobre os monges.
Oh, its conclusion. Yet G Corp has continued its worldwide invasion nonetheless under the something remaining scourge of Mishima Zaibatsu. So basically, G Corp's taking over everything. Oh, symbol looks like an iron fist. Yeah. Oh, send me a message on Twitter, okay? It looks familiar. A stage in Tekken 4. Heihachi is the monk in the mask. Right. Volcanoes nowadays. Yeah, that's right. They're not the same. They're not the same anymore. They're not as hot, you know. That's crazy.
Tekken, eliminando os restos da Mishima Zaibatsu.
Okay, so they're saying, you know, what they're trying to do is identify who these people are. They're saying, okay, here's a close-up. They're wearing similar hats. Material is covering their eyes. They have a crest. No matching records found inside Mishima Zaibatsu. And it says here, everybody's trying to regroup. But, you know, from G Corp, basically. But while that's happening, a mysterious group of warrior monks has come about. While everybody's fighting each other, and G Corp's taking over. So, they keep getting elusive and repeated surprise attacks by the monks. And the troops are retreating and getting blown up. And they're saying the people that survive barely brought back any information. And the little information that they had, they are saying that they are the Tekken monks. They have techniques reminiscent of the Mishima fighting style of karate. Cannot be ruled out if they have ties to the Mishima clan or not. The group has targeted their forces. The fact that the group has singularly targeted our forces casts doubt on the theory that they may be connected to G Corp. However, the group... Oh, and then it just heads on over here. So everybody's basically trying to join forces now to figure out what the heck's going on. What the heck's going on with G Corp? Well, you know, who knows what's happening with G Corp because Kazuya's out for the time being. And Mishima Zaibatsu's kind of squashed. And the monks are now coming in and causing some issues and starting to take things over. And as far as we can sort of see, historically, that's kind of what had happened. Was there was a new, I don't want to say a new religion had come in, but a religion that was a new version of things had come in, and was trying to merge things and everything. And some people took parts of that religion that they liked, but then the original priests and original monks said, "Hey, that's it, we're done," and got everybody out. So this is not, this is following some true things in a sense. Okay, so here we go. And we have a monk here, and he has a symbol. Yeah. So this symbol kind of looks like a Shinto symbol, and this is the fist here. Now, what is so crazy? Well, not crazy, but interesting about all of this. So we have this tiger mask, right? And he's wearing black, white, and gold. And black is supposed to represent, I think, a warrior and mourning and death. And white is supposed to represent purity and life and basically good things, right? And they balance each other. Then gold represents, importance and nobility. And to emphasize that, he has these gold bands on, but he also has this cuff here, which is very important, and a little bit of a red. He has these red, maybe they're coral beads. He's got these coral beads, and then he has this these red emphasis here on these ribbons. And red, I think, is supposed to represent strength. So this is pretty, this whole thing here is pretty important. And what really ties it in? Well, the mask. So the mask is interesting on a lot of different reasons. So the mask is a tiger mask. There are no tigers naturally roaming around in Japan. They are not native to Japan. Heihachi was into importing exotic animals. He had a big brown grizzly bear and multiple grizzly bears, and got his wife a tiger, and that tiger was her pet, and then she used it in addition with her in 7 in her fighting style. When she would turn to the devil's side, the tiger also, she would change colors, her color palette, and the tiger did too. And supposedly it's supposed to infer that they're both dead when they do that. There's a theory that when she, remember, is basically working through Azazel, and Azazel has ties to God, and ties to God in real life through many religions. And he, supposedly in this game, had multiple minions or servants keep an eye on what's going on in the world to keep things in check. And he had her and he had Akuma basically try to keep the balance. And he specifically said, look, keep an eye on this guy because he could get out of control and you need to neutralize the situation. And then later on, when she had her son, she might have to do the same in that end. when Heihachi started to get to be too much, because he already had everything, and then he just wanted to be, I don't know, super duper grand supreme of the galaxy, right? Basically. She stepped up and said, "Hey, look, this is too much." She changed into devil, and then basically he killed her, right? And then she kind of came back, and then he really killed her. There's a theory that he grabbed her pet tiger, and he killed that tiger, and that is why he wears that tiger pelt. And that was her tiger that he's wearing in the games, and the tiger skull. He also wears the tiger on his back, and you can see right there that's a tiger on his pant, or whomever this is, and on his face. Tigers in real life, back in the day, were and still are revered for their strength and beauty and prowess and everything else. So much that the samurais thought this is a fantastic icon for the samurai. So they adopted the tiger as a little bit of a representation of the samurais. And that was a very, very, very long time ago. And it's true. That's a true, real thing that happened. So that's tied in. And the fact that Heihachi wears a tiger face on his back, which ties him, in a sense, to the true samurai and what they used to do. There was something else I really wanted to add to that. In Tekken 7, if this is Heihachi or not, it might be. He's looking kind of ripped up. He was sitting in this room, and I saw this about 2 weeks ago. He was sitting in this room, and there was a reporter in front of him. And behind him was a samurai armor, and he had these arrows. And those arrows could be, and this is supposed to be true, arrows that are blessed to kill demons and devils. And that's something else that's true from all the history and all these different religions and all the different things that are going on right now with all this. He had that in his background. But who else uses arrows in this game is Claudio. And Claudio has ties to being Roman Catholic. And he is an exorcist. And he shoots arrows at demons and devils and tries to kill them. And the interesting thing about that is because exorcists and everything is being Catholic, you hear about them and we know about them, but it's not necessarily an emphasis because it's more of a call to mental instability than anything else. But there are instances of that and training for that too. So we're not saying that it doesn't happen. So Claudio the Exorcist, he shoots the arrows against demons and devils. He had the arrows in his background in Tekken 7. If this is Heihachi, I don't know. And he had the samurai suit behind him too. Oh, and the tiger on his back, also tying to the samurai. The colors of what he's wearing, and the tigers on him. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to add to this. Oh. If you look at the people that were killed in Tekken 8 by Kazuya specifically, in the beginning of the game, he and Jin are talking back and forth. And Jin killed 10 bazillion people trying to get Azazel to come back. And Kazuya says, hey, you killed 10 bazillion people. I kind of don't want to hear it because I haven't even matched any of the stuff that you've done. And then Jin's going back and forth saying, okay, well, I'm going to stop you and this isn't right and yada yada. So then Kazuya goes and lasers a bunch of people. I believe that was done to try to set the balance of what's going on. Jin did a bunch of bad things. Now we're going to say Kazuya officially did a bunch of bad things. So they're on the same grounds now of each other. If you look through to the rest of the game, he could have killed Jin. He could have killed Lars. He could have killed, other than the people that escaped out of the arena, he could have killed easily everybody else that was in that arena, and Reina and everybody else. But he didn't. And the interesting thing is, he picked up Safina and got Azazel out of her hand and threw her down. Now, if Jin wouldn't have caught her, she would have been killed. I think that would have been the only person that he would have actually killed. Because when Claudio shot that arrow, it went out and then it turned around. I'm trying to remember what happened. The arrow went out, it turned around, it hit him in the shoulder, and I think it continued down and hit him. So really, he didn't kill Claudio either. That was him that did that. So he didn't kill anybody. I don't think he did. Anyways, I think the whole thing is just interesting. So all I'm trying to tie it into is the fact that arrows are important. The arrows hit the devils and demons and everything. They play an important role. The tiger plays an important role. The colors of all of this play important roles. And it's all very well noted in through this. Yeah, Goken. And then they showed the electricity there for Raijin and Fujin. I like the fact that they're using the dojo stage that we have access to now. And I like how they have, the breakable walls are all different walls to different things. And you can see somebody back there. There's somebody in there. It's very good. And Lydia has a very important role to all this. And what makes it even more interesting is that this whole background, over on this side is that giant Akuma statue, and then you can see, the thunder and lightning gods, which would have been on either side at this point here.
そろそろ頃合いだな。
So, she's all excited. She thinks her dad's coming back in. Unless Heihachi has a devil gene, I have no clue then how she got it. I really think that she's some sort of a genetic lab creation, but I'm not sure. Okay, so just to add to this, in my opinion, you can kind of tell that this is the beach stage, it looks like. But you can kind of tell that this looks like this is actual gameplay, okay? And they took it and they put it in the picture of the camera mode. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But it does look a little different compared to everything else, which is fine. But I think games like Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat, because to do that other movie editing is very expensive. But if they took stuff like this part right here and had the characters, do a storyline, I think that they could make fantastic Netflix shows like this, or just series. It doesn't have to be anything, huge production and spend a lot of money or anything. Just this I think is just really high quality and well done itself. You can tell it's a little different, but it still looks great. I think they could grab one of the comic series and replicate it through something like this, and it wouldn't cost too much. Let's see who Eddie's fighting there. Okay, Eddie's fighting G-Corp. Okay, the monks are saying, "Hey, we're not putting up with it. We're gonna take over," and that's what happened. By the way, that's true. So I think that's Safina. Yeah, see, that's her fringe here, and then her gold anklets and everything. So there are some theories that her father, maybe he's brainwashed, maybe he's kidnapped, maybe his body is a capsule for Heihachi, and they put him in there. It's sort of like a bison, a bison type of thing. The psycho power has transmitted over to him. There's a huge emphasis on this here, and they would not put this in unless, especially in the freaking trailer, unless there's something very, very big with this. And don't forget that in the Alpha series, when Ryu kicked Bison's ass and Nash came in and finished it off, Bison's soul went into Rose, and this could be Rose right here. Okay, it's possible. I don't know the significance of well, that's not true. Supposedly in northern Japan, you can raise hawks and use them for falconry. But I don't know if that has any ties to this. Let's look it up real quick, because I'm not sure, to be honest. falconry. Well, but I don't know. I have no clue what that would have anything to do with what falconry would have anything to do with this. So there are ties to Greek mythology and ancient Greek religion. And I do know for a fact that owls were the messengers of the gods. And Athena used owls all the time. So that's why you would see her and she would have, her shield and, her sword, and she might have an owl on her shoulder, you know. Let's look up something else. But that wouldn't have anything to do with a hawk, though. Yeah, I don't. Okay, so it says here birds of prey are symbols of status in the early Endo period. And it says the same thing there. It directs us to Takagari, falcons, falcon hunting, activity of the samurai in medieval periods. Very interesting. I knew that there was an emphasis on this in northern Japan because of playing Samurai Showdown. I was playing Samurai Showdown, and one of the girl, and she just had this real cute outfit on, and she had the hawk, and that's really something, huh? So I guess what this is basically saying is these cuffs mean rank. I mean, besides the gold and everything else, who wouldn't want gold? But I think that these monks have gold bands on too, and they have the cuffs also. Well, maybe not then. They all have the electrical knobs here. Well, maybe he has this on because he is the higher rank. I don't know. He's definitely up there though. No one else has this on except for the tiger mask. It's interesting. Oops, not in maximum there. Okay, there's Jack. Okay, all the Jacks look like they're activated. Okay, so this is not the same temple. Or dojo. This is not the same dojo. This is a different dojo. There's a lot of emphasis on tigers. Tigers everywhere. Remember, they're not native to Japan. They're native to mainland, right? But they were adopted as a symbol of strength and courage and speed and nobility in real life. This is making me wonder if Azazel's come back somehow. And it looks here that this is some sort of a well, it looks like it's the dojo, but this has to be Lydia's story. Yeah, maybe this is where Akuma, that Akuma statue would be right there, and maybe this is some sort of an offering table. Yeah, there's a good chance this could be her father. I think. Oops. This is probably somebody incredibly important that I just don't know who it is. And that's when Jin and Kazuya supposedly destroyed the double gene out of each other. Okay, so it looks like in the end everybody's just sort of wiped out there. This is probably yet another person that's unbelievably important that I just don't know who they are. I don't know who that is. If that explosion was somebody coming down to Earth or whatever, because of the way that the rocks look like they're going like this, that would be interesting, right? If it was Heihachi landing. But he wouldn't, the traditional Heihachi that we know wouldn't have the powers to do anything like that. I don't know, to be honest. I would have thought that he would have been, brought to in a laboratory, or maybe, had his soul cross over in some sort of a holy place, but maybe not. This, at the same time, this could just be a regular explosion by a bomb or something like that, a laser from a satellite, something. So that is where Kazuya punched him in the chest, and you can see, that he's all ripped up now from, being tossed over and everything. Well, must be pretty nice. He wasn't out for a whole game. He gets to come back, but, just saying. So Heihachi's back. Everybody's super excited. I'm excited too. I want to see what the storyline's gonna be. Wow. I want to see what the storyline's gonna be. I think he's gonna really shake things up a lot, and I'm curious to see how he's going to function with the Tekken 8 engine. I think that he's gonna be strong. And I think he'll do well. I think he'll do really well. And I'm very interested in seeing what the storyline's going to be, with how it's going to proceed and how he came through, and especially Reina. I really want to see how that's going to be fleshed out, to be honest. Yeah, that's a lot there. Huh. And he has that insignia from the monks on his gi here. Yeah. Well, good for him,